Homefront.
My name is Roger Kenny Marenco. I was born and raised in El Salvador. For right now, my family and I, we reside at this place right here. We've been here for the past 9 years. Everybody knows me around the community and especially in the block, and I know everybody. It's not like in other blocks where you just see somebody and it's your neighbor and you just walk off, Nah, right here you talk to them for a little while. At least you say hi or you wave your hand or something, I got one brother and 2 sisters, and then a whole bunch of cousins. Everybody from Cesar Chavez after school just comes down and plays, hang out and be a kid,
The mission has been historically working class, immigrant, has had an industrial zone, and has been on the negative side of the investment decisions that have been made. It has experienced disinvestment.
Everything started to change a couple of years back. All these new buildings are going up that nobody can afford. Everybody's being evicted. Everybody who's being evicted or everybody who's suffering all this discrimination is the minorities, the low-income working class people.
Gentrification in a neighborhood is a revitalization process that has gotten to the point where the residents who were there are being displaced. The communities that are most vulnerable turn out to be communities of color. The mission is in a serious situation of gentrification and displacement. The housing prices are very high. The character of the community is already beginning to change. The shops and services that have traditionally made the mission their home are being pushed out, and they're leaving in huge numbers.
For a long time, there was no real drive to develop the mission because there was plenty of opportunity in downtown. Up until about 1997, the city was kind of in a good, steady state, sort of healthy economy, and that there weren't more people looking for space than there was space to supply. And then around 1997, that began to get out of balance. With the dot-com revolution, there was so much venture capital flowing out of Silicon Valley. You started to see a lot more businesses interested in adding jobs to existing operations in San Francisco, and then also new businesses coming in. And so you started to see a much greater demand than there was a supply in the office market, which led to this huge increase in prices. And that, of course, had a huge impact on the housing market in San Francisco.
Just after the mid-90s, I started noticing live-work projects going up that weren't kind of aimed at or marketed to artists anymore. The place I live in, Developing Environments and Project Artaud, they're both still existing artist spaces where people live and work in the same space. They were the models for the live-work ordinance. And I knew very specifically that what was being built wasn't that.
It's not coincidental that a lot of this high-end dot-com office live-work development was occurring in the mission because the land values have been lower. So it's cheaper for a developer to come here to this neighborhood, buy up land, and develop a live-work loft and sell it for $500,000.
You could have built affordable housing on some of these same lots, but that's not what happened here. The primary source of residential building in San Francisco over the last 5 years was lofts. And lofts sell for $700,000 and up. Basically, they took advantage of a loophole in an ordinance that demanded it be built for artists and just basically created high-end lofts.
I started hearing about more and more people who were having to leave, and a bunch of art spaces were having to close up as well. I would walk to work and see that there was a space that had been there, and